On the eve of International Women's Day, one Canadian filmmaker is focusing a spotlight on women's freedom of movement.
I had really taken for granted my opportunity to be able to just go outside my door and go for a run or a walk, right? And I think here in Canada, we often don't realize that in a lot of the world, that's not something that people can just do.
Way to go! High five! Documentary filmmaker Kate McKenzie was the organizer behind a run for equality taking place in 10 Canadian cities across the country tonight. The 3K runs were in honor of a group of Afghan women featured in her doc, The Secret Marathon. In the film, McKenzie travels to Afghanistan to train and take part in her first ever marathon, along with Canadian marathoner Martin Purnell. He'd pitched the film to her after learning about the country's first marathon for women. They documented the struggles and dangers Afghan women face taking part in a sport they love.
What we heard from a lot of the women in Afghanistan was that they loved running for the same reasons we did, because it makes you feel free. It reminds you of when you were a little kid and you felt the wind in your hair. And so for women in Afghanistan, for them to train outside, people were throwing rocks at them, they were insulting them, they were even receiving threats from terrorists. And I realized that that's not my reality, right? And so when we were seeing this, we were really inspired that there was a community of people in Afghanistan that were being resilient and courageous in the face of this difficulty.
The event was held in partnership with the Canadian Women for Women in Afghanistan, who was there raising money for female teachers, and was hosted by our very own CityNews reporter, Nitish Basano. The money from tonight's race fees will go toward post-production for the film. The Secret Marathon is expected to be released this fall.